Welcome to Phonogenics 101, a Riotboy production hosted by Jeremy Gloff. The podcast where people who love music discuss albums track by track. Please hit subscribe, and if you'd like to support this podcast, patreon.com/Jeremy Gloff or Venmo @Jeremy Gloff. And now, onto the music. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Phonogenics 101. I'm Jeremy Gloff, your host from Tampa, Florida. And this is our season finale of the Emmylou discography series, Part 1. We will resume on Season 4 sometime in the future with Part 2. But we started with Gliding Bird, went album by album and song by song. And today we are at Trio in 1987. We have I don't want to say he's a guest because I'd love for him to become a regular part of the podcast. But Mark Scott is joining us today. You know, if you watch this podcast, you know him from the Joni family. I believe, Mark, you were on almost every Joni podcast. You might have missed one or two, but I mean, you always have so much heart and intelligence to bring to everything. So I'm so thankful to see your face here on the Emmylou family. I know you don't love being put on the spot, but do you want to say anything?
Well, I live in Shoreline, Washington. I've been a fan of Emmylou since probably sometime in the late 70s. I had this prejudice against country music for a long time, and she was kind of a gateway for me into that, even though she's not really a country singer. But anyway, that's about it.
All right, and then of course we have our standard panel, Richard and Tadia. Do you guys want to jump in and say anything before we go into the album?
No, I think that, this is going to be an interesting thing to talk about this album because at the point of Emmy's career, she had been releasing two unsuccessful albums, which should have been a success, but they were not like sales-wise. I'm talking about The Ballad of Sally Rose or even White Shoes and 13. Yeah. And then she finally released a trio with Dolly, Parton, and Linda Ronstadt, and it was a whole new game. Yeah. I mean, this is the biggest success she ever had. I mean, I think this is actually the biggest success solo album-wise. All three of them had. Yeah. This album sold 4 million in very fast. And this is like, I think this is like the female version of Highwaymen, so to speak, you know.
Well, I remember the Grammys in 1987 or 88, whatever year that this album, and it just won one after another. I just remember, I kind of listened to Emmylou when I was a kid, then lost track of her. Because in 87, 88, I was listening to like Madonna, Who's That Girl, Prince, Sign of the Times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, they kept winning, and they kept playing To Know Him Is to Love Him is like the music they played when they walked up on the stage. So, they were back, and it's interesting. Well, Richard, do you want to say something a little bit before I start going off the rails?
Go ahead.
Well, where this album intersected in all of their careers, like Dolly was right in the middle of like her 80s hell. Like, you know what I mean? She had done like the Rainbow album. Wasn't White Limousine next, which was a comeback for her. But like, Linda was just finishing up the Standards album, about to move into her Spanish speaking albums. So, and then Emmylou had 2 unsuccessful albums, 3 if you count White Shoes. I know it was like a moderate hit, but not the level of her past stuff. So this album, with the 3 of them coming together, and for it to be such a traditional sounding album at a time when, Dolly's last album had a song called Dump the Dude with synthesizers all over it. So, and that's when she had her talk show and stuff, wasn't it? Like, she was really like more of a personality than a bluegrass musician.
She was having a talk show, yeah, at the same time. The interesting thing about this, before we go into this album, this was released in 1987. Emmylou and Linda started to work together in 1973. They sang together at Liberty Hall with Graham Parsons and Neil Young. Mm-hmm. And then Emmy and Linda recorded with Graham Parsons a song called "In My Hour of Darkness" in 1973, and in 1974, Linda and Emmylou recorded a duet with "I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You," the Hank Williams songs. And in
Yeah.
1975, of course, Linda was on both Emmy's first album, Pieces of the Sky and Elite Hotel, and in 1975 they also recorded their first trio project together, which was Light of the Stable, the single, where they also added Neil Young in background harmony. So they sang together then, and that's where they decided that they were gonna do an album together. And there's many stories, but Linda said that Emmy, no, the first thing is that Emmylou met Dolly Parton and George Jones at the same day, and she was so high that day, and so after, it was so overwhelming that she went back to the bathroom and she just threw up, she said, because she was so nervous about she's seeing Dolly, her idol, and George Jones, her idol. But she invited Dolly Parton over to her house, and she cooked her cornbread and beans and greens and all that stuff. And she called Linda and she said, Dolly's at our house. And Linda just drew right over to the house. It said it was like 1.5 hour drive, but it took her 40 minutes. And they sat down, right? And they sat down and they sang a few songs together, old songs, Lubin Brothers songs, When I Stop Dreaming, and Carter family songs, Bury Me Beneath a Willow, and basically said that, hey, we're gonna record one day together an album. And from there they started in 1978 to record. They actually recorded a whole full-blown trio album in 1978. That was prior to Emmy's album Quarter Moon in a 10-Cent Town. But that album was more electrical. It was recorded by Emmy's husband and producer at the time, Brian Ahern, and they recorded it at the Inaction Truck in LA. They did the photo shoots, and all of that was done. It was actually getting ready for something big. Dolly called Linda and said, hey, I'm not sure about this. It doesn't have the sound that I feel that we need for it. And Linda agreed. And Emmy, that was hard on Emmy because she's really wanted to release that stuff. They had worked hard on it, and it was good material, but it was more electrical. And they had felt that they wanted to go more acoustically with it, But in the mid-70s, their career solo-wise just took off. And so all of them got busy with scheduling, touring, and so they just scrapped the whole project for a while. Some tracks from those sessions has surfaced on different albums, like on Emmy's solo album Evangeline. She released, the song Evangeline, and Mr. Sandman came there. Another song came later called Farms of Victory.
That's on Songbird, right?
That's on Songbird. And Linda released, let me see now, My Blue Tears, which was a Dolly Parton song. They were a trio recorded from the first sessions. But anyway, they scrapped it. And in 1986, they decided that, hey, if we're going to do it, we need to take some time off our working schedule and just get together in the studio. And this time they ended up with the producer George Massenberg. And George had produced Linda's albums, as well as he had produced sessions for Emmylou Harris in 1971. So they both knew him very well.
Yeah, also I think also he produced those demos 74 probably, because
Yeah.
he's from. I was going to bring him up because that connection between Emmylou and Linda goes back to I mean, George Massenberg was he was from Baltimore, and he had a Blue Seas recording studio, but he also worked at Track Recorders, which is where the song on Heart Like a Wheel, Keep Me From Blowing Away.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, that song was
Seldom Seen.
Yeah, it was Seldom Seen, but also whom Linda met John Starling and the Seldom Seen people through Emmylou, who already knew them quite well.
Yes.
And John Starling brought the songwriter Paul Kraft to to introduce him, and he played that song, and she said, "Let's go record it." So they went into the track recorders and did that song. John Starling's on that cut on "Heart Like a Wheel."
Yeah.
So it goes all, that relationship, and that's the same album that the Hank Williams duet is on.
Yes.
Yeah,
Extraordinary album.
yeah.
Yeah. But they did decide to record finally, and they took some time off. And for this album, they had plans on touring. They were big plans for this album, but of course they didn't know how it was gonna. They knew it was gonna get some attention because all of them drew some kind of attention.
Mhm.
But I would say that in the mid '80s, it was kind of like old-timey bluegrass style, was not like on the top of the charts at the time. So for them to do that was kind of risky at the same time, I would say. But again, they decided to do that because their sound was so good. That was what they had in common. That harmonizing, that was like old-timey, and it really, really fit. Because all three of these girls have very different voices. But still they're harmonizing, and their blends are beautiful.
Mhm.
And I mean, listen to Dolly Parton and Linda Ronstadt. It sounds like comes from two different worlds vocally,
Mhm.
But it's some kind of fit anyway, because all of them are so good harmonizers, and they know how to do that stuff together. So I think that people had been waiting for this for a while because they had been doing TV shows together. They had been performing up in Dollywood together, and so I think that people were waiting. It was like more expected and unexpected than people had thought it would be.
Yeah.
Weren't they all three on the song from Prisoner in Disguise, A Mother's Smile?
Oh, you're talking about
Sweetest Gift.
Yeah, The Sweetest Gift. Emmy and Lynn.
The Sweetest Gift, yes.
Yeah, that song they used to do early back in the 74 live with Emmylou, when she was trying to get into the music scene on solo wise. After Graham passed, she would play gigs with Seldom Seen, and they would sing those songs, and they taught Emily that song, and she stole it, she said, from them. And Linda recorded it. Yeah.
So is Dolly on that recording? I'm trying to remember.
That's a good question, Richard.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up on my phone.
I think Emmylou isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sings backup. She sings harmony on it. But when they do it live, they're always taking a verse each. Well, not anymore now, but they used to.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Richard looks that up. An important part of any album is, of course, the cover and the branding and the presentation. And at the time, Dolly's album, she had the huge hair. Linda was, doing the standards, and Emmylou had the '80s mullet. So what was the trio album gonna look like? But I love what they chose for the cover. It's very old timey. Of course, you have the legendary paper doll cutouts on the inside of the album.
Yeah. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Then the back cover is just a really beautiful picture that just looks like it came from the 1940s. You know what I mean? Like, beautiful.
Yeah, because that was Linda's idea of them being together. 1907, she said. She wanted to have that time to be look at them as they were doing music from 1907.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the album cover?
It's classic. It's beautiful. And what I do like about them wearing their nudie suits, I think that the suit that Linda Ronstadt is wearing there, the dress, it cost I think it was $7,000 or something.
Wow.
It's one of the most expensive dresses
They're not wearing their paper dolls.
I love Linda's boots. I mean, they all look beautiful here. Emmylou with the blazer on. So 80s. Man. So,
only Emmylou is on the Prisoner in Disguise version of the song.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, when they did this album, coming out, recording in 86, probably released in 87, they could have gone in so many directions. I mean, they could have had gone where Dolly was going and had the synthesizers, but when you put on trio, you could never guess what year that is on the first song. There's some stuff that maybe on the album a little bit It's a little dated, but especially the first few tracks. I mean, it could be 75, 87, 2008. Like,
Yeah.
it's timeless, and I think that's what made the album so successful at the time. It was such an outlier.
Such back to the roots,
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
And
the first cut was a Porter and Dolly duet originally.
Richard, I always like to go to you.
What? Yeah.
So I always like to go to you because you were with, following Emmylou from the beginning. Then we'll go to Mark also. Do you remember when this album came out, Trio? Like, how did, you didn't listen to 13 when it came out, right? You skipped that one?
Yeah, no, but I did buy this when it came
So
out.
what was your thoughts about Trio, like the first time the needle hit the wax?
Well, I mean, I liked it quite a bit. But for me, associating Emmylou Harris with bluegrass and the seldom scene, I mean, that goes way back to the beginning of my fandom,
Right.
when I would see her play with the seldom scene at the Red Fox Inn on the because they had a regular night there.
Right.
And so John Starling, who looms large over this album, he's credited with helping them make the song selections. For me, it was great, and I always liked. I can't say I was a huge fan of what Dolly was doing on her own records at the time here. I think the last Dolly record I had was All I Can Do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I loved that early Dolly stuff,
Me
like
too.
My Tennessee Mountain Home and all that kind of stuff. So, and I guess I was kind of cooling to Linda Ronstadt by this time, 87. But the three of them together really do. I was very impressed, and I was happy that it wasn't some kind of full of 80 synthesizers. That was like way not my taste.
Yeah. Would you say it was an event at the time, though? I mean, people, even not being a fan at that time, I remember everyone talking about the album. It was in all the stores. It was everywhere.
Yeah,
Well,
I can't remember
Right.
that so much. I mean, it was a weird time in my life. 87 is when I finished my PhD. So
Right. We have.
I was kind of preoccupied with writing that year.
So, Mark, what are your memories from?
Well, I remember seeing the three of them on TV doing My Dear Companion, and I just was blown away by it. And I loved the record. I think from the first time I listened to it, the sound of those three voices blending like that together was just amazing. And the production, too. Everybody's talked about that already, but it's not what you would call contemporary. I mean, particularly for the time. I mean, didn't sound like anything from the 80s. We've already talked about that, but I loved it.
We have people from the Joni panel here. Just in context, this album fell right between Dog Eat Dog and Chalk Mark in a Rainstorm. So, I mean,
Most recent memory for me with this album for Joni was Wild Things Run Fast, which when did that come out?
82.
82, yeah.
So, Tadia, you started following Emmylou in the 90s. What were your thoughts when you came upon this album?
Well, in the beginning, I thought it was a little bit dull because I had expected it to be like more Emmylou Harris with electrical stuff. I heard it before I heard the Ryman and Roses in the Snow, so I was kind of like into Bluebird when I got it. We used to stop when we were going on holidays. We used to stop by the road. There was like a gas station there when we were driving down to Oslo, where the truck drivers used to stop, and they sold cassettes. And I knew that they had Emmylou Harris there because every time I stopped there with my father, I would knew that there were going to be something there, So I picked that cassette up. This was before the internet, so as I said before, I had no clue what kind of albums was out there. And I put it in the car, and the first two songs was not so. I remember like, nah, but then To Know Him Is to Love Him came, and I was like, oh man, this is great, I was listening to that cassette so much that my father, he threatened me to throw it out the window. So he was annoyed with me, but it's one of those albums that has stood the test of time. It has aged really well.
Yep.
is timeless. And I mean, like the music that artists today, like Alison Krauss, are producing and stuff, it could have been easily have been released today, this album, because the quality is so good on it. And also the musicians that are on this album are top shelf musicians.
Oh yeah.
This is you can't get any better than this. And the first song they performed together was on the CMA, you know. In 1986, they performed "My Dear Companion" as a tryout. They hadn't done anything live, and the album was not released yet. And I think you might find it on YouTube when they premiere the song from the album, because nobody was expecting the sound, because you can see in the background you have the acoustic instrument and their upright bass and stuff, and they start to sing, and you can see that the people in the audience are looking at each other. Like, you know, this is something totally against the rule, you know, in 87, 86. Right. Back to the roots, for like old-timey mountain music, and they hadn't sounded better in years, any of them, you know.
And Mark, is that the one you saw, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And the year after, of course, the album was released, and they had a few singles from it. They made 2 videos. They did "To Know Him Is to Love Him," and also they did the video for "Those Memories of You."
Mm.
And also they performed at Dolly's show. Did 3 songs there because they didn't tour, because Dolly was doing her show, and they were on Johnny Carson's, and they did 3 songs there. And yeah, it did get a lot of attention, but I think that, you know, as much attention as it got, this album could have been even bigger if they toured it, you know.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, can you imagine? They would have sold out stadiums.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they would have. Because at the time, Linda was drawing huge crowds.
Yeah.
Dolly hadn't toured for a very long time, because she had been doing movies and doing a lot of different stuff at the time, you know. So to get her back on the road, and the plan was that, and then they scrapped it, as they did the next time as well when they did 302. This could have been huge. I mean, like, if they had done a Highwaymen tour like these guys did, though they sold out stadiums, and these 3 girls are the biggest name in country music at the time.
Yeah.
And all of them were crossovers artists as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I regret that I didn't get to see them together.
I mean, I would just love to see the pictures of the tour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they would have been iconic images of them on stage together in a stadium. I could just picture it.
Man, they were planning on 302, you know. When they did that few years later, there was also plan for a tour and recording the tour on video and a live album, and that was scrapped as well.
Yeah, damn.
Can you imagine that? With doing their own songs, with their harmonies as a trio?
On the other hand, I'm glad, you know, I don't know how the stadium experience would be with this kind of music.
Yeah.
There's that too.
Maybe not stadiums, but maybe amphitheaters or even smaller venues.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Linda Ronstadt where she said that she don't have any of her own albums in her own house because she doesn't like to listen to her own music. The only music she would like to listen to, if it comes to anything she has produced or made, is trio.
Oh.
Is trio is the only thing she can listen to and feel well.
Oh.
Well, I don't blame her.
I heard her say something about Blue Bio. I read it somewhere, maybe, that she said, "I don't think I sang it well on the record."
Right.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Linda. But that's what Dolly said about Linda in the trio interviews, how picky she was, and that was a contention, wasn't it?
Didn't she say something about those 2 bitches?
Yeah, she did.
She did, but that was years later. Yeah, because Linda in the studio, she's a perfectionist, and Dolly, she's very like she does a take or 2 or 3, and she's done, and she does it. She doesn't do it any better than the first take, she says.
Right.
But Linda, she would like make her do it 20 times the same line, you know, do it over, do it better. And Dolly, she had a fit, and like, you know, stuff.
Dolly's used to the Nashville way, where you do like 3 songs in one session.
Wasn't it a Home Ladies Journal or something? Dolly's like, "I've got things to do, bitch."
Dolly said that, you know, I got so many irons in the fire that I'm bound to burn somebody else's ass as well, you know.
Yeah. Well, they all made up though, so they all, you know,
They
it just
did meet
happens.
up. They're
Yeah.
good friends,
Yeah.
and but I mean, to get those three people together in the same room with three different careers, and it's hard, you
It's
know.
hard, yeah.
It's
Different
hard.
management teams.
Different record labels too. So.
Yeah.
Different managers as well, you know.
Yeah.
Pushing, everybody wants some part of it here and there. But I'm glad that Dolly finally went back to country music, because after this album, she kind of like was back on track with her direction when it
Yeah,
came to
White
music.
Limousine was a huge album for her, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ricky Skaggs.
Why'd you come around here looking like that? I love that freaking song.
Yeah, good stuff. And
Yep.
and Linda Ronstadt, she went also. So after this album, Emmy went traditional again with the acoustic album, and Linda Ronstadt, she went traditional with Mexican music.
Yep,
So
with the
they all
Mexican.
of them went back traditional after this, you know.
Yep. And they were all pretty successful too.
All of them were successful. All of them were successful. So no, I think that this is a great album, and I wish that we had seen more of them together doing stuff like this. I have seen Emmy perform a few of the songs live lately in her shows from Trio. She has done To Know Him Is to Love Him, and every now and then she throws in Those Memories of You, you know. And Farther Along was the song that was sang at Graham Parsons' funeral.
Mhm.
It was
And-
also at Clarence White's funeral.
Yeah. Oh, right. And Dolly, she recorded it for a movie called Song Valley Bluebird or something.
Oh,
Blue Valley Songbird.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know. She made a movie, and she's singing. She's sitting there by the bed, and she's take out her auto harp, and she sings "Farther Along." This almost the same as you hear it on Trio.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
let's. I'll go ahead, Richard.
no. I said let's get
Yeah,
going.
let's go into the track by track. All right, so last thing we heard from Dolly probably had a synthesizer on it, so you put the needle on the record. The Pain of Loving You. We go right in. We start off right with the mandolin. Man, now, Toddy, I think it's interesting. Like the first time you heard it, you're like, "Oh, this is kind of boring." Now, what do you think when you hear this now? Because it just blows me away right from the beginning.
I think it's not some of the best thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish that Emmy sang more solo on it, because she takes a verse on it, but she doesn't. They sing harmony on the next verse.
Right.
I really like it.
I love this song, and it goes, as I said, it goes way back to the Porter and Dolly days. It was written by both of them, so
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, but this is, I think, the definitive version of this song for sure. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And look at, I mean, it's got David Lindley and Albert Lee, Mark O'Connor,
Come on.
Steve Fish, Russ Kunkel. I mean, it's
Right.
got the top.
They're not playing, you know.
Yeah, nobody's on autopilot on this album.
No.
Maybe the auto harp, but not autopilot. Mark, do you have any thoughts on this song?
Not much. No.
Okay.
I like the song.
Yeah, a lot of these songs, like this album to me is kind of a vibe. So I don't have a lot to say about the lyrics or the song. They're just, you just put it on and it takes you away to a time and place that's magical, I guess, for lack of a better word. Because many times the present can be painful. So this album kind of takes you to a place in the past where I just find like comfort, I guess. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but this album's a vibe that rescues me from reality sometimes.
But it opens up with that pain.
Yeah, the pain. Well,
You
you gotta love the
pain. But it's that pain that you take such pleasure in.
That's right. Absolutely. Any other thoughts on this song?
No,
All
it's
right.
a good song. I like this version better than the original, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
So was the original just Dolly on lead vocals, or did Porter sing with her?
Both of them.
They sing it together.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, track 2, Making Plans.
Oh man, you know, I can say something about that song. I think that song is one of the best country songs that was ever made. It is such. I mean, it doesn't get more country music than that song.
Right.
It's the same as Making Believe, you know. It's the
Yeah.
same. it's the same thing, and the harmonies there, and the way that Dolly uses her vocals on that song, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. It's so powerful. It's perfect from start to end. I put it on the stereo and put it out loud, and you listen to the harmonies, and it's perfect. I went into the studio. That was my first cut I did in the studio 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm gonna try out my vocals and see how good I am now at the moment, and see if I can pull it off. And I was putting on layers of the tracks, and so we went down and back and listened to the harmonies, and we just stripped them. I was like, I want to listen to Dolly, I want to listen to Linda, and I want to listen to Emmylou and hear them separately and hear what they're doing, because there was something there was I couldn't get. I was like, the harmonies, like, what is it they were doing? And they're so detailed. And
Oh,
it's so difficult to do those harmonies, that that these girls have put a lot of work into that song. It sounds flawless when you listen to it, but when you start singing it, it's like, what the hell is this? It's so difficult.
well, when you think through the years, there's a lot of like, trios that sing together, but that's, and maybe some of them are even like technically better singers than these two, if that's possible. But in addition to the great voices that we have here, there's their history and their story. Like Dolly's part there that she sings solo might not be technically the best singing, but she brings so much personality and so much of her history of coming from Tennessee. Like all of that is in her performance there. And you can't replicate someone's truth in their story. And that's what they all bring to this album. And that's
Yeah.
and on top of how technically great they are, the lore and history they bring is just another level. Am I being too like hippy dippy there, or does that make sense?
It's the mountain voice of Dolly that's being used
Yeah.
here. Like
Yeah.
you have to be, it's authentic from the mountains. You can hear that this is her real deal shit,
Yeah.
Dolly, she sings from her heart. It's from the roots. This is who she really is.
Yep. Take away the dump the dude limousine big hair.
Yeah. This song goes back. The first recording of it was by the Wilburn brothers.
That's
So
correct. That is
yeah,
correct. Yes.
and it was shortly. The next recording was by Charlie Louvin solo. And
That I
I
haven't heard.
yeah. See, I did this song as my song of the day sometime last week when we were thinking about doing this album.
Aw.
So I researched all the different versions as I kind of like to do, and the only version I found where nobody's singing it in harmonies is the Charlie Louvin version. So
Fantastic artist.
he sings it solo. So I kind of learned about that. But it was recorded by Dolly and Porter, but it wasn't released when they recorded it.
Hmm.
So their version came like a lot later. But I love this song, and and it is kind of a challenge to sing. You think it's a pretty simple song, but yeah, didn't you find that, Taria, that you had to pay a lot of attention when you were
Yeah. It is, but as they say, country music is simple songs, three chords, and the truth.
right?
And there's a lot of truth in that saying, actually, because when you can use three chords and still pull it off and make it so real and so heartfelt, it takes a lot, more than people think. You think that country music is easy and stuff. It's not. Sometimes the easiest is the most difficult.
Mhm.
And they were really, really showing off their vocals on this song. And I think that all of you are Joni Mitchell fans, and she would
Mhm.
like. I'm not comparing, because she's like in a different world when it comes to her music, but she would do like chords that nobody had heard before, and different twists that were not expected in her music. And you will go to that level where like, oh my God, there's something you haven't heard before, and it's just heavenly beautiful.
Yeah.
But these girls were doing it with three chords, and it made you have the same feeling.
Yeah.
Does make sense to you when I say it like that?
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Because I'm not slamming Joni. I have deeply respect for her. I think she's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on making plans?
Well, I people have mentioned Dolly's vocal on this, and I'm sitting here thinking about it and going over it in my head, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's so genuine. It's like Terrence said, authentic. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
the way she sings this song. And when I'm thinking about some of the things that she did, there were big hits like 9 to 5 and Two Doors Down. And this is nothing like that. I mean,
Yeah.
those were all kind of pop and fun. And this is just something that's so genuine and so beautiful.
Yeah, I think she lost her way when she went pop because her voice is just so suited to that, as Taria was saying, that mountain sound.
Don't you feel like Dolly always comes back to herself though? Because like you heard that voice on Coat of Many Colors and the Jolene album, and then you hear it again on Little Sparrow and The Grass Is Blue.
Oh yeah, those
yeah,
are wonderful
yeah,
records.
yeah.
Those are wonderful records. I like those.
Yeah. I feel like there's like that trio, like Grass is Blue, Little Sparrow, then Halos and Horns. Then after that, like then she went off into Dolly Land again.
She's
Forgot
doing rock and roll now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, after those albums, back on autopilot, you know.
Yep. Because she did Forgotten Country after that. I'm like, well, Dolly. And then she did that covers album, like These Are the Days. Or whatever. But anyway, back to the trio.
That album should have called For God's Sake.
Yeah. For God's sake.
Although she covers that Tom Petty Southern accents pretty well.
Oh, God.
Does that pretty well.
Yeah. All right, to know him is to love him. The first time I heard the song was on the Grammys because they won every award and they walked up the stage to the song. Number one hit, right?
Yep. And Emmy, she was the one that brought that song to the table.
Yep, and Emmy sang the lead on this one.
Yeah, and listen to the bridge when she goes up there.
Oh God,
wonderful!
Yeah. sounds like her voice from Wrecking Ball, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And there's little hints here. Like I always say this, these mid '80s Emmylou albums, you can hear where she came from and where she's going.
And that song, it reminds me of, you know, the song "Pledging My Love." You know.
Oh yeah.
It has the same 60 sounds. This is let me see now. Phil Spector song.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Spector, you know Phil Spector, he wrote this song for his father. Phil Spector, great producer. He made The Wall of Sound. Produced Ike and Tina Turner's River Deep Mountain High.
He wore some great wigs in court.
Yeah.
yeah. That too. So funny story is that when they were doing,
he presided over John Lennon's Lost Weekend.
And he shot his girl between the eyes.
Yeah.
But he was a great producer and he did well music wise. But there was an award show. I think it must have been for Grammys or something like that. Anyway, Emmy and Linda were there, and Emmy, she spotted Phil Spector, and she went over because she wanted to thank him for the song.
Uh-huh.
Well, Phil Spector didn't know who Emmy was.
Oh God!
So his bodyguards took her and put her in the ground on the floor.
Oh my God!
And Linda, she was back there and she was laughing her ass off because they didn't know that they just laid one of the biggest stars in the ground. and but they apologized and everything, and Phil Spector tried to grab Linda and she said, "Go back to the zoo." But that's a story that has nothing to do with Trio, but yeah, well, it kind of has.
It kind of does, yeah.
But they did this song on the Johnny Carson show.
When was the last time Emmylou had charted top 10? Something from White Shoes, right? In My Dreams?
Yeah, that made top 10, I think.
Yeah.
So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago, which is an eternity in pop culture.
Did this cross over to the pop charts too? I didn't. Was it just on the country chart or was it on the pop charts too?
I think this was on the pop charts as well.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think this was one of the biggest hits from the album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And actually, this is the biggest hit Emmy ever had.
Right.
This one and Sweet Dreams. Yeah.
But as much as I like the performance, it's not my favorite song in the world.
No.
It's like, I mean.
Yeah. Commercially, it's a success for radio, you know. It's a very radio-friendly song.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't relate because like my version of the song would be like, to know him is to please delete his number. All right. Any other thoughts on To Know Him Is to Love Him?
I didn't get his number. It would be mine.
Uh,
All right.
Oh.
Hobo's Meditation. Now, when I was listening to this, uh, this probably isn't my favorite song on the album. I feel like Linda can be just a tiny bit bombastic sometimes. And as believable as Dolly was with her mountain voice, I kind of didn't believe Linda being a hobo. So maybe I'm like, I don't mean to rain on the parade, but this just didn't feel as authentic to me as some of the rest of the album. What do you guys think? Tear me down and tell me I'm wrong.
Isn't this an old Jimmy Rogers
Kenny
song?
Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny
And I know
Rogers.
that's what Linda does, is she takes like different genres and kind of brought them to the modern time. So Linda's just doing what she always did. So love Linda and no disrespect at all.
Jimmy Rogers. I mean, I think that she chose that song, she said, because she liked the line, "Will there be any hobo freight trains in heaven?" or something like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Jimmy Rogers also wrote "Mr. Mississippi" and "You" that Emmy recorded on "Roses in the Snow." You know, it's like
Right.
old blues. I don't think that the music that he did back then was considered country. It's most like folk blues. But I think
He's the yodeler, man.
it's a
He's
yodel,
blue yodel.
blue yodel number 3.
Yeah.
Number 4, yeah. But they
He's the singing break man.
Sidney Brakeman, yeah, he died of tuberculosis.
Yeah,
But
I mean, but he's like right at the roots of country music.
yeah, I know. Yeah, him and the Carter family. But
Yeah.
I think that this is the oldest song on the album.
Yeah.
I think it's a very old song. It's from 1920 or something.
Yeah.
Like
Ish.
that. Yeah.
This is clearly it's interesting because John Starling plays guitar on this one too, and he had a lot of influence on the song selection. But I was wondering about the fact that we get Herb Peterson credited with the vocal arrangement.
Oh.
Mm.
And you don't see anybody getting credited with vocal arrangements on the other tracks.
Only in
So,
this song.
yeah. I'm just wondering what's behind that.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that.
It's interesting because like the concept of the hobo is so like antiquated at this point. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's almost like not PC to say that. And another word, like the word lonesome comes across this album a lot, and I feel like that's another word like that's not used as much anymore. And you know, it's interesting like how language can change even from the 30 years since this album was made.
It's kind of like a Western feel to it, like old West country and Western movies, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. But like
So
romantic.
lonesome I could cry.
Right. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on hobos? I mean, the concept of like the rich man, uh, honoring the poor man, like in 2025, we couldn't be any further from that truth, unfortunately. I mean,
You know, I think I'm tending to, on reflection, tending to kind of agree that Linda's vocals seems kind of out of place for the song in a way. I don't know.
She's belting.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
got
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. She's strong vocals.
And it's a gentle song in a lot of ways.
right.
I mean, for God's sakes, it's called a meditation.
That's
Wasn't that
funny
one of the
because
singles? Sorry.
Right?
I was sitting here thinking, I haven't listened to this record for a long time. And I was thinking, were the other two on this track? And when I'm going over it in my head, I'm thinking, yeah, they were, but what I remember is Linda. So
Yeah.
I guess I have to agree that she's a bit over the top here.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
funny because in personality wise, it was Dolly that was so over the top at that time. But like vocally, I feel like Linda is a little more over top on the album. But
Yeah.
I hope like Linda fans don't listen to this and like pull out the daggers. But well, that's just my my opinion of the song. Sorry.
Linda's great when she's really on. I mean,
You're right.
I just don't think this is an example of it.
Technically, Linda Ronstadt is technically the best singer of these 3 women.
Right.
I mean, like the techniques she uses and the chest voice and her head voice and all of that stuff is she's very easy for her to go from here to there and do whatever she wants to. and I mean, she has the power. She's the powerhouse. But if you talk to Linda, she would say that, you know, the best singer of them is Emmylou, you know.
Mhm.
So I mean, like, this is about taste, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this was after Linda was in Pirates of Penzance, I believe, and
Hmm.
she had formal vocal training for that, I believe, if I remember correctly. And
You remember exactly correctly because she
yeah,
did. She went to an opera coach there,
mm,
and you could hear that the way she started to use her head voice and stuff.
yeah,
It's really, really, she's a really good. She's a really good singer.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Linda Ronstadt can sing anything she wanted to.
quite a range.
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
think her upper range came out more after she did Pirates of Penzance.
But I
Me
think,
Mexican albums are insanely good.
yeah,
Those I'm not familiar with.
that's what she did next after this. But I think with Linda, especially on this song, like she sang it well and technically was perfect, but she didn't sell it for me. Like I didn't believe it. I didn't believe the story on
Too
this one.
polished.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, the next track, Wildflowers, to the contrary, talk about being in the damn pocket. Like I believe everything in this song. Like this, Dolly takes the lead. Is this a Dolly song?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
it,
Like,
she wrote it.
yep. I
uh,
mean, everything that I love about this album is in this song. I mean, it's authentic. It takes you to a place. They sound wonderful. What do you guys think of this one?
Sounds
it's
like
great.
a Carter family song.
Hmm.
I'll be right back.
Opens. It sounds like, you know, opening with, I think, Richard helped me out, but I think it's an auto harp.
Yeah, auto harp.
Yeah,
It's interesting because David Lindley plays the auto harp on it, and he also plays a kind of a zither, so he's playing two different instruments.
sitter. I
And
have a.
it's called on the credits. It's called the Harpolux.
I
So
know what that is. You
yeah,
cannot. Yeah, you can. They are tuned only in one tune. You cannot change the chords. You have to play it, and they have to tune it up to the chord you're playing.
Oh,
yeah. But
Yeah,
he also plays auto harp.
yeah. Which I also play auto harp, and I try to do this solo that they're opening with here. I think it's
Yeah.
there's one of the songs on the album where they're opening with the auto harp, and there's one song they're opening with a dulcimer. I don't
Uh,
remember which. Yeah.
well, I have an auto harp. I play it every so often.
Oh, I love it. The sound of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You know who's a great auto harp player is Sylvia Tyson from Ian and Sylvia.
mm.
That auto harp is amazing.
She's still around.
Yeah, she's around. She just made her what she called her farewell album.
Aw.
She's in her 80s.
Yeah, I heard Carlin Carter. She played auto harp for me when I was visiting, and she sat down and she played. You know, she played the Wildwood Flower on the auto harp.
Oh
No problem.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I think this is also a great song. I think Dolly Parton, she wrote that song uh, about about herself. You know, being a wildwood flower that, you know,
What,
they can grow wherever they. Yeah, I think it's referring to her life.
Now, does anyone know, was this a song that was current for the time, or was it an older Dolly song that she?
I think it might be older. I'm going to look it up for you.
Okay.
I agree that this is totally about Dolly.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
This was her growing up in the Smoky Mountains and knowing that she was going to be somewhere else.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing is, when Dolly's on point, like, there's nothing better than when Dolly Parton is in that magical pocket that only she can inhabit. Like, but it's so hit or miss.
It is so hit and miss, but again, it just show that this is a song that how well she masters the craft of writing in old-timey songs that fit right beside a Jimmy Rogers song.
Right.
And it sounds like it's right from the mountains where it stopped 50
Right.
years prior.
All right. So she wrote this song. She had not recorded this song before this album.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's one that she wrote. I guess it was the fourth single from the album. It went to number 6 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart.
Awesome. Aw.
Yeah, and they had recorded this song for the first 3 album Aborted project.
Okay.
And they re-recorded it for this one. And that version came out later on a trio compilation.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where they all three of them took one verse, but on this one, on the first release or 1987 release, it's only Dolly singing the verses and the rest of them are doing harmonies.
And I kind of like that they, on some of those early trio recordings, like even Cowgirls Get the Blues, they would trade off verses. And I think it works best if someone just inhabits a song and the other provides support. So every song has its own feel and its own character. I think that's what made this album successful. Because when they're swapping verses, sometimes it just didn't work. Like a song didn't create a vibe as much in some of those first recordings.
Yeah, I think that might be because they're swapping harmonies.
Right.
They're like, when I take the lead, then she jumps up, and when I take a lead, she.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't sound even, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, could be. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Well, I think they made the right choices with this one. Any other thoughts on Wildflowers?
Well, I think
Exciting
Dolly's,
album.
Oh,
I love this song.
Mark, what were you saying?
I think Dolly's voice is like a perfect instrument for this type of material. I mean, the songs that she writes about her childhood and Coat of Many Colors and
Right.
Jolene and it's like a perfect instrument that just fits in.
Yeah.
It's right up her alley.
All right. Well, the next song, we talked about this a little bit before you got here, Tadia. The first time I heard this album, Telling Me Lies, honestly, I was like, what the hell is this shit? I just like those electric 80s keyboards. Like, here comes Linda with the full bombast. Here's one of my collectors saying, I actually have like the promo single that has like the radio edit. I had to have it. But it's so like, this isn't, so far we have a lot of like old timey country songs, and this song, when I hear it, like it does to me sound kind of straight out of 1987. I feel like it'd be right on Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like the Wind, right next to the Aaron Neville duet.
Oh, so yeah, this when you're saying it like this, I think that this is the only song on the album that sounds like an electrical song.
Right.
Because of the piano and because of the bass. It's not a acoustic bass on it. But this is a Linda Thompson song.
Yes, absolutely.
And Linda Thompson, she is a good artist on her own right. And she wrote this song about the breakup she had with her husband.
Yeah.
And,
which Linda was intimately involved in, since they broke up and toured Shoot Out the Lights.
Yep.
And when Linda Thompson had enough, she started holing up with Linda Ronstadt. So she basically took her through that breakup.
Really?
Yeah.
And Linda, she said that, the lyrics, it kind of like reminisce with her because she was there when it happened, she said.
Yeah.
Well, 20 years have gone by since I first heard this album in its entirety. Maybe 30. I lose track. But I must say, when I listened to it this week, getting ready for the podcast, I'm like, okay, this is a powerhouse performance. Like, I kind of like that they did end side one with something more contemporary. It gave the album a different character. It kind of expanded its scope, and it is a really, really powerful performance. And it got to show that the trio is more than a one-trick pony. They could do a lot of different styles and have it work.
I think the powerhouse is appropriate for this song. I like it. I love this song actually.
Yeah. I listened to Linda Thompson's version today, which came out about a year before this, or maybe 2 years. It was on her first solo record she made after breaking up with Richard, called, the name of the record's One Clear Moment. And she co-wrote it with Betsy Cook, who sings all the harmonies on that record. And it's good, and it's clear that this version is based on it. And even as I usually prefer Linda Thompson singing to Linda Ronstadt singing, I think Linda Ronstadt did a great job with this song on this album.
Yeah, well, I felt like Linda missed the mark a little bit on the hobo song. This is what Linda Ronstadt does best, I feel like.
She does.
And on the second, when she do the chorus in the end of the song, when you hear that, when she really start belting and she open up, and then a cute thing in the end of the song where Emmy takes one.
Yeah.
That was like, it took me a while to figure it out. Was it Linda or was it Emmy? But it is Emmy.
It's Emmy, yeah.
Yeah, and you almost cannot hear Dolly on this version unless if you're like listening really, really good, because Dolly is so far out in the mix.
It's safe to say that Linda Ronstadt is the one that brought this one to the sessions, right? Would you say?
Totally, like you said, "Cry Like a Rainstorm." It would have been in that album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I love the way that when you look at the personnel and stuff, you see the roots of all these singers. Well, at least for Linda and Emmylou with their past, because this song has Albert Lee on it. It has Billy Payne from Little Feat, which was a favorite. I mean, they were super favorites in Washington D.C. area, and you've seen that picture of Emmylou wearing the Little Feat T-shirt, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I love looking at the personnel, thinking about how all those two singers really came together, and you see little echoes. And when you add John Starling into it as the song advisor, it's interesting that it kind of goes. I mean, there's some way that in which Emmylou and Linda seem pretty symbiotic on here, and then of course Dolly is a world to her own, and she's so great. But it seems kind of personal. So I think it's nice that this personal song about Linda's friend, really written by her, ends the first side.
Because it really is an album of sisterhood, you know what I mean? So this
Yeah,
just expands that theme. And Linda was not too far off from the success of Somewhere Out There, right? That was just a couple years before this, right?
I think so.
Funny thing, I remember when I posted a video on our Emmylou Harris original Emmylou Harris Facebook group. I posted a video of Emmy and Linda singing this song, and that was around the time when they released the complete
Western Wall.
section.
Oh,
And Linda Thompson is in our group, and she commented and she said, "Oh, I hope it sells millions." And I said, and I commented and I said, "Linda, I'm a big fan of yours." And then she commented back and she said, "I'm the biggest fan of yours." She said, "That was really sweet, from a professional artist that like Linda's and Emmy's friend, is here in the group." And she wrote,
I didn't know she was in the group. That's cool.
"Oh, she is, yeah."
Well, Linda, if you're watching this podcast, even though I didn't get the song at first when I first heard it, I eventually came to my senses, and I think had the album all been old timey country, it wouldn't have been as iconic as it was having the song Inside One. I think they made a smart choice.
Yeah, it was a fresh breath to the album, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn! But those harmonies at the end just chill you to the soul. Like, oh shit! Because we've all felt that. We've all felt that pain, I'm sure. All right.
Yeah, lyrically strong as well.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
And
All
Linda
right.
goes up to that high note at the end, doesn't she?
I mean, seriously. Yeah, and you hear that on the live version of the Western Wall tour in 1999, and Emmy and her sung that song, and you hear Linda start, and the end of the song, the live version, and you can hear that she's holding out there, and people start clapping, and you hear in the background that the audience go crazy when she does that.
And I feel like Western Wall kind of picked up where this song left off a little bit.
Yes.
Which I love. I can't wait till we talk about that album. Because I feel like they got to spread their wings a little bit more than they did on the Trio project.
I can't wait to listen to that a bunch again.
Oh, Loving the Highwayman as the opening track. Like, first time I heard that, I almost fell out of my fucking car. Like, holy shit. All right, side 2. You flip over the album. Another wise production choice to start side 2 after a more contemporary song to kind of revisit the more traditional. I think it's keeping the listener engaged. Why can't I see? My Dear Companion.
Yeah.
Great way to start side 2. They sound wonderful. It's a traditional song. What do you guys have to say about this one?
The Gene Ritchie song.
Yep.
So it actually has an author.
Yep. She was a folk singer.
Yeah.
And she also, I think that Emmylou would probably bring this song to the table because, I mean, Emmy was a fan of Gene Ritchie. She also performed with him, great dulcimer player. But she wrote "Sweet Sorrow in the Wind" that Emmy recorded.
That's
girl,
right.
And I think that this song would have fit right into "Roses in the Snow." It's that type of music. But the harmonies here they're doing together, the three of them, is great. It fits the song, and I love that Emmy is doing lead on this song.
Yeah.
She sings it beautifully. And the
Yeah,
end of the
there was
song,
one thing I wish I'd heard more Emmylou leads on this.
yeah, I like the end of it when Emmy starts singing and they are answering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the call and response.
Yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts on this one? All right. The pain of loving you.
No.
No, did I skip something? Oh, these memories of you is what I meant to say. These memories of you. What do you guys think of this one?
George Starling brought that song. And
Yeah.
it's a song that they performed also with the Seldom Scene. It's this is as bluegrass as you can get.
Yeah. But I kind of like that minor key. Like there's a dobro in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and they
Really.
just sound exquisite.
And harmonies here is also difficult as well. They did this song. Dolly Parton sang this song on the CMAs, I think 2 years ago. And who was harmonizing? Was it Reba McEntire and was it Carrie Underwood? Anyway,
Was that during that where they trotted out all the women in that medley, or?
right, it was that. And they did this song, and I was like, God damn, Emmy and Linda sounded so much better.
Oh, I mean, no one beats them. You know what I mean? Nobody.
I mean, Reba me here and there, but that didn't work.
Hey, that's actually a Kona Hawaiian guitar, not a dobro on this one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So it's like you play it the same way, but it's like made out of wood. Doesn't have
That is the same Hawaiian guitar that was played on To Know Him Is to Love Him
yeah,
by Steve Fischel.
yeah.
And that guitar hangs up in Emmy's music room in Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah, he gave it to her after that.
So we have the pain of loving you, these memories of you. There's a lot of pain and memories on this album, aren't there?
Yeah, they're not in a good spot.
Are any of us? So, any other thoughts on this one?
Well,
I think this was a hit, wasn't it, Richard?
You know, I guess I don't know. Was it?
They made a video of it, and I
Yeah.
don't remember the actor that's in it, but it's a famous American actor, a cowboy. I don't remember his name. You guys probably know him better than me, but he's famous. And they are actually in that video standing in the dresses that you see on the back cover photo on this album, on the LP, the white dresses, you know, and the hair up and stuff. They recorded that song during the same photo session. So you see them like standing on the pedestal that's going in circles, and the camera goes around them, just standing in old-timey dresses, singing like angels in the background.
Oh,
Yep, it was a single, and it made number 5 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles chart.
There you go.
There we go, big hit.
Yeah.
All right, so the next song. Oh man, I just feel like I'm being a downer, but this is another one where I'm like, well, here comes Linda with a song.
Oh, but it's a Kate McGarrigle song.
I know. She's had enough.
Yeah. And funny, interesting thing about this song started the project.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I just like it's just not my kind of song. I don't think it's bad. I think the performances are good, but I just
Big McGarrigle fans, these girls, you know. I mean, Emmy and Linda, they had worked with the McGarrigles several times. And
yeah, going back, I mean, the McGarrigles wrote "Heart Like a Wheel."
For me, McGarrigle songs are hit or miss. I hate to say it. I know that's controversial, but I mean, some of them just to me don't have the strongest melodies. But then you come around with like a "Love Is." Didn't they write "Love Is" from Bluebird?
Yeah, and Talk to Me Mendocino, and Going Back to Harlan,
which I love that one.
Yeah. And they also did the harmonies on I Still Miss Someone on Bluebird, you know. They're great at harmony. But anyway, I think
they wrote "Heart Like a Wheel."
I love that song.
Yep. They did.
I have a problem with their lyrics, though. I don't know. There's some of their lyrics that just don't make it for me. And this has some in it. So I'll pin this note within your coat and leave the garden gate unlocked. And I'm kind of going, the melodies are beautiful, but a lot of the lyrics on their songs,
Well,
I
they
just
become
don't
so
get it.
important to Emmylou later on,
Yeah.
as co-writers.
Oh yes, absolutely. They were actually planning for recording a whole album together, but Kate passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this song was, like you said, Jeremiah, that this song is one of the songs that are not like, kind of like, does it fit there, you know?
Yeah.
But then again, when you're listening to the alternative version that was released a few years later on the complete trio collection, then it made sense.
Hmm.
Have you listened to it?
No, I haven't.
I have, but I haven't listened to it recently. So
Go
Mm.
back and listen to that one, and
Okay.
I would have given a lot for that version to be on this album
So that version would be, you think that version would fit better on the album?
because it's so much trio in it. There's so much more voices and harmonies in it,
mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like that would have made sense.
Mm.
Like, you know, so they did different versions, you know,
I just
and
feel like I have all the Linda Ronstadt albums, but I feel like every Linda album has like the damn piano song that I skip.
The what?
The piano song, like this, and like I feel like that's this one on this album.
Like
Yeah.
which piano song would you skip?
I can't even name them all. If I look at the track listing, but like not Heart Like a Wheel, like that's a wonderful song.
yeah,
Hmm.
Talk to Me Mendocino is my favorite Linda song.
Yeah, I don't want to waste your guys' time while I go back through the Linda Ronstadt
That's all right.
discography. But I mean, like, there's just always the song I skip. It's usually like somewhere on side 2 of like the Linda album.
I do understand you. I do understand why. When I was younger, I didn't do much for me. It was the one that I would skip when I finally got a CD player.
I always skip Blue Bayou.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I love Blue Bayou because it's so damn over the top.
But it's not Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Nobody's Roy Orbison, Richard. Nobody can reach to that level.
Well, any other thoughts on Linda's Had Enough?
No, it was enough.
Yeah, it was enough.
Yeah.
There's a guy in the Blondie podcast that's so snarky. I can just hear him like, and I've had enough too. Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy Bryant. Okay, moving on.
Rosewood Casket.
Oh, so Dolly's back. Dolly's back. She's talking about the Rosewood Casket. When I was listening to this album, it was like almost like a relief to hear Dolly's voice.
Oh,
I was
this
like,
is where you have the dulcimer.
Yeah, this is the dulcimer.
Oh, come on. I mean, like, this sounds like an old time, but this is an old timey song, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a traditional song. Arranged by Avie Lee Parton. Is that who's that? Is that her sister?
Dolly's aunt.
Oh, her aunt. Okay.
Yeah, this is a wonderful, wonderful recording.
Yeah, Dolly's mother recording that song as well.
Really?
Yeah, she recorded that on her solo album.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's really stripped down. It just has Albert Lee on acoustic, Mark O'Connor on mandolin, David Lindley on the dulcimer, and Kenny Edwards of Stone Ponies fame on acoustic bass.
Oh, yes, that's right. I never thought about that. That's him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, they brought a lot of friends to the table to making this album.
That's right.
And they must have had so much fun making it.
Like the inner circle. Yeah, because when you bring such famous people to the table to make an album, it costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
So,
and you can hear how much fun you can hear that they're having more fun here than they did on Trio 2. Like you can just hear the joy in the performances.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. They have been waiting to make this album,
Yeah. Like they're chomping at the bit. Any other thoughts on this song?
I think it fits right in with Making Plans and
Yep.
Wildflowers. I think that, those songs.
Well, it's kind of morbid in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, you lead from the Rosewood Casket to the song that you sing at the graveside farther on.
It's dark.
It's dark.
It starts with pain and it ends with death.
But isn't that like the irony in country music? The melody is happy and the lyrics are sad.
That's right.
Yeah. And Dolly's the master of that. And I mean, like all of them are the masters of that.
I mean, yeah, mostly of Emmy's songs are sad.
Yeah.
She was, when I saw her, last month, she was talking about how she just has this penchant. She just has to write sad songs.
Well, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's like the TV show on Daria, Sick Sad World. All right. Farther along, we end with a gospel song, I would say. Great way to end the album, though. I think it's, majestic, powerful. They sound great. We're still ending with kind of some of that ancient lore. I think it's a perfect ending to the album. What do you guys think of this one?
Mm-hmm. I think so. And what I like about this song is that each one of them take a verse each.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. They don't do that on the other songs.
Right.
Everybody sings solo on each song, but this song they share it.
And I think saving that for the last song on the album was brilliant.
And John Starling and Emmylou get the arrangement credit for it too.
And I think Emmy sings the last words on it.
Yes, she sure does.
Yeah, I love this song anyway. It's kind of hard for me to, almost any version of this song is going to get me, but this is a particularly nice one.
And what's the history of this song?
It's just an old gospel song.
An old gospel? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has the same feeling as Angel Band, you know?
Yeah.
This is where Emmylou would go next.
And John Starling was all over Angel Band too. So.
Even though Angel Band was recorded before Trio, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
then, yep. Angel Band was recorded prior to Ballad of Sally Rose.
How long did it take for Angel Band to come out after this album came out?
Not long after, but Angel Band was not planned as an album. It was planned as a gift to friends. So they were just recording it on the floor around a mic in Paul Kennedy's.
Oh.
So it was that they well, talking about Angel Band, we do that next podcast. But the whole thing about that album was that their record company were asking for an album. She didn't have one, but she was like, okay, but listen to this. And they were like, we need to release it. So she didn't release an album because she already had those songs that she had been doing for fun.
Right.
Well, she loves her gospel music.
Any other thoughts on Farther Along?
No, it's for me, it's the best end of it. It couldn't have started with this song. It wouldn't fit,
No.
Right. Oh God, no.
You've got to end with it.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there had been 2 more songs on the album.
I know.
Or it's not a narrative, though. The album seems to operate. It has its own little narrative.
Yeah, as much as I bitch about the Linda songs a little bit, like that's so Linda Ronstadt to bring those songs that you're just kind of like, like that's so her, and that's kind of what I love about her. So I think it's perfect with its imperfections, if that makes sense for me.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Because as much as like I've had enough, it's not my favorite. It brings that Linda personality, and I'm glad it wasn't an old timey country song that she put there. So, well, you guys, we've reached the end of the season. I just put a post up on Facebook, and Toddy, I'm so glad you commented. I made a list of potential dates, and we did them all. We've covered the first half of Emmylou Harris's discography. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Great. We've been doing a lot of albums now, and I can't wait for the next one. I've been really enjoying and looking forward to these talks.
Yeah.
Talk with you guys and see that we have similar taste and all that stuff. It's not. I don't find many people here in Norway that has the same taste as me.
Right.
But there are like 5 people in the whole country. So.
Oh, well, we will definitely be back. I don't want to commit to a date, but maybe March, April, May, somewhere in 2000. And then once we get started, we'll just keep going. I won't take a break till we get through to the end.
And remember, we also have to do Linda's albums and Dolly's albums.
Dolly's albums they'll be like a 6-year project. But I would at one point do like highlights of Dolly. I would do highlights of Dolly.
You're waiting to do Rainbow, aren't you?
I'm Rainbow for God and Country. What's another one? The Rhinestone soundtrack.
Oh.
All right. Well, what do we rank trio on a scale of 1 to 10. Tana, start it off. What do you give this one?
Me?
Yeah.
It's a 10.
Oh, coming out of the gate with a 10. Richard.
Yeah, I probably before I had started revisiting it this week, and I listened to it a bunch this week, I probably would have rated it lower, but I've got to say it really holds up, so I'll give it a 10 as
A
well.
10. Shit. Well, Mark, your first time on the Emmylou family. Now you're part of the family, so you're not a guest. You're part of the family. What would you give the trio project?
Oh, definitely a 10.
All right, we have 3 10s. No pressure, you guys. No pressure. You know what? I give you, and I always talk about this, how my friend Jeffrey Dicker from the Madonna family, he's like, you give every fucking album a 10. You know what? I give this album a 10 because I feel like even the songs I don't love are so representative of the artist. Like, this album couldn't be any different. All the pieces had to be what they were for it to be the masterpiece it is. So, what a comeback for everybody. I'm so glad that the management teams and the schedules came together for this little piece of ancient magic. And, I also give you guys all a 10 because I love meeting up with you, and I look forward to next year when we will pick up with Angel Band and go all the way through to the present. So,
Through Hard Bargain.
yeah, through Hard Bargain. So, no, you know what? I'll do the Rodney duet albums also. So,
Oh, all right.
the most recent one would be her second duet album with Rodney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go through to that one, and thanks
We
if you
should
like.
go back and do the Parsons records.
Well, we could. I'm like, well, maybe.
They're classics. They're both 10s.
They're both 10. 10. What a season we had though. We had that one episode with the gentleman that was releasing the. What was his name? I'm so bad with names.
Oh, Goldberg.
Yeah, Goldberg. So this has been a lot of fun, man.
Ooh,
So
Michael.
yeah. So thanks to everyone. If you like this podcast, please subscribe. And gentlemen, we will stay in touch in our chat, of course.
Yeah.
But I will see you all in 2026 when we dive into Angel Band and go to part 2 of the Emmylou. Thank you so much for your time and heart in discussing these albums. I can't
Thank
wait till we
you.
resume again next year.
Well, wish everybody a nice winter and
Yeah.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope they don't take down all the houses in DC.
Oh,
All the best.
Yep. Michael Goldberg's song was right about the White House lawn, remember?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I will
They
see you.
started on the Capitol and on January 6th.
They weren't able to dismantle the Capitol, so they just took down the East Wing.
Just take down the East Wing.
Well,
Why
you
not?
know.
All right. What will the world look like when we meet again? We shall see. Bye, you guys.
Bye.